radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
All right, welcome. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Today's Thursday, November 29th, 2018. 333 days into the new year. Just 32 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? It's Thursday. It's Fadernight with Teresa Yanaros and Divine Frequency on the airwaves, followed by open lines all night long. Now, the call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. I just noticed everybody's saying that the bunker cam's not running. Well, we ran it before the show, and it looks like it's running here. I've got it. Huh. Very strange. Okay, so I don't know. Refresh your screen. Do something. But it's definitely 100% running over on this end. Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's see here. Okay. OnStellar.com. You can follow and send me a friend request over there. Twitter is at JChurchRadio. And, oh, great. I just lost my login. Okay. All right. Man, I cannot believe that. Let's see if this happens again. Let me do this. Okay, I'm going to forget about that for now. Where am I at? Twitter, at JChurchRadio. Facebook, YouTube, everything is Jimmy Church or Fade to Black. You can go right to the website, JimmyChurchRadio.com. You can follow, like, and subscribe. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Hashtag F2B. You can hang out there all night long and join in the conversation. Twitter's always live straight in front of me. Of course, we have two chat rooms, one over at Spreaker and one over at KGRA, the Planet. Okay, any questions or comments during the show tonight or any other night? Use hashtag F2BQ on Twitter. Okay, now, there won't be any YouTube live streaming. Nope, it's only on the bunker cam. And we're back to our old ways of doing things, which is, quite frankly, let's see here. Hold on for a second. There it is. Boom. Which is, you got to have, you've got to be a Fadernaut if you want to see the bunker cam. It's really that simple. And boom. Let's see. Wow, bunker cam isn't running. It was just running a second ago. Okay, I'll get back up on it. I have no idea why it is not running. I'm looking at the stream here, and it is running. Okay, let me. I'll look at this during the break, but it's very strange that it's not working. Okay, I've got a show to do, but it should be happening. Yeah. Some people are watching it. Okay, it's all good. Okay. Where am I at? All right, let's get to some breaking news. Let's do that first, and then we'll get to Teresa Yanaros at the bottom of the hour, which is customers right now can no longer watch pornography and drink coffee while hanging out at Starbucks. That's right. The company will be placing filters on its free Wi-Fi. Starbucks plans to block porn sites at all of its U.S. stores by next year. Not saying anything about international. While Starbucks says it has always prohibited pornographic content on its free Wi-Fi, it has never had filters in place to actually block it. That's right. It's kind of a creepy thought, isn't it? You're going to Starbucks to have coffee. You're in a public place, and you're going to watch porn and drink coffee in a public place. That's just a big bowl full of wrong. That would actually go down. But the fact that there wasn't filters in place before is pretty strange. But that's it. Starbucks said enough is enough. So starting in 2019, you can't watch porn at Starbucks. All right. China right now is using drones disguised as birds. That's right. Using drones disguised as birds to spy on its residents. Inside of China right now, they have launched with more than 30 agencies in China right now. Yeah. These robotic birds look like living, breathing birds from the ground. They recreate the motion of flapping wings, which helps them fly at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour. Now, these drones mimic 90% of the motion of a real bird and are so quiet that even real birds fail to recognize them, and they fly right alongside of them. Think about that for a second. Going on right now inside of China. That is El Creepo. Now, come join us for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles, California at the Los Angeles Hilton. This year we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken. And I'll be hosting the panel with Eric, Linda Moulton Howe, Jason Martell, Billy Carson, and David Wilcock. Also this year, we'll have George Norrie, Nassim Haramein, Robert Schock, Daniel Brinkley, Grant Cameron, Julia Mossbridge, and our very own Teresa Yanaros, and another 50 speakers. Now, all you have to do is go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com. You can get your tickets right there, and also take a look at a full conference schedule. Just click on the CLE banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. All right. There you go. Now, Hoffman's Optics are the builders of our new night vision goggles, right? The Area 52s. All you have to do is go to Hoffman'sOptics.com. You can check out the new Area 52 Jimmy Church model and check out all of the specs behind it. You can call Alec Hoffman personally. He's a Fadernight. You're a Fadernight. Go and get yourself set up for your pair of night vision goggles. And now we've got them in white phosphorus. We've got them in green, but exclusively to Hoffman's Optics, the only ones. Are you ready? Blue. All right? Blue. Think about that for a second. Just click on the banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Give Alec Hoffman a call. When you start going to these conferences, hanging out with us, wherever it is, Contact in the Desert, right? I think we're going to try to do some night vision at the Conscious Life Expo, ECETI Ranch, all of these places around the country, Sedona, wherever it may be, Joshua Tree, Shasta, wherever you are in your own backyard. You need to get some night vision. It's amazing what you're going to find out what's going on right above your house. So go and get yourself some night vision goggles from Hoffman's Optics. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. It is just $2 per month. $2 per month. $2 per month. That's it. Over 900 archive shows. Over 950 archive shows. Soon to be 1,000. I can't believe it. We're going to get to 1,000. And I didn't think we would ever get to 1,000 shows. Here we are, 5, going on 6 years, right? 1,000 shows. I guess the next mention is 2,000. And that'll be 5 years from now, right? Is that the right math? Oh, man. It's pretty exciting, actually. And it's just $2 per month. You can go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the podcast banner. You can also become a Fadernight, and that's simple enough to do. It is just $2 per month. Go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on that. It's just $2 a month. Just go to the membership section on our site, and you can get everything you need free. You can get the bunker cam free when it is running, by the way. I'm going to test it again. I don't know why it's saying error. It's just bizarre. It was just running breezily nice right before the show, and I've got the right. That's weird. I don't know. I don't know. I'll see if I can do a hard reset during the break, okay? I said I wasn't going to go back and check, but, it just makes me wonder what's going on. I want to make sure all of you Fadernights are taken care of. And just go to the membership section. We have autographed hats, T-shirts, and downloadable commercial-free archives, all that fun stuff right there. Become a Fadernight today. And don't forget, visit all of our sponsors here at jimmychurchradio.com. River Moon Coffee, Ancient Life Oil, Life Change Tea, Numana Food Storage, Hoffman's Optics, Sacred Skulls. Oh, yeah. Fast Start Diet. That's how I lost all this weight. Fast Start Diet. Fast Start Diet. It's so cheap. 3 days of food, and you get the appetite suppressant. There it is. You get the disc. You get everything that you need right there. 3 days. Go and take off some weight and learn how to get on this fasting thing. It's amazing how you just transform yourself. Look at me, Adonis, right? Yeah, Fast Start Diet right there. Okay, let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to one of my favorites today, Anna Faris. Anna Faris is 42 years old. What's the name of that movie? Smiley Face? Is that it? The one where she eats the pot brownies that her roommate made, or cookies or something. She eats the whole thing. Oh, man. Smiley Face. Anna Faris today is 42 years old. All right, there you go. On this day in history, OTD, 1929, American explorer Admiral Richard Byrd and 3 companions make the first flight over the South Pole in Antarctica. Took them 18 hours, by the way. 18 hours round trip. But they made it, that's right, in 1929. Fader fact. I say it every time. This is vetted. This is real. Fader fact. Are you ready? Every year, every single year, more than 2,500, that's 2,500 left-handed people are killed from using right-handed products. That's right. Oh, man. Oh, that is just, insert joke here. It's tragic. People are dying. But really? There you go. 2,500 left-handed people killed each year from using right-handed products. Some of them were using right-handed pens, by the way, stab themselves. That's right. Happens. It does. It happens. Tonight, it's Thursday night. It's Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Teresa Yanaros is going to be here, and Divine Frequency on the airwaves at the bottom of the hour. Top of the hour, open lines all night long. Call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Let me hit this. River Moon Coffee. Do you remember when you were a kid and you had your one hitter, right? Slider. Let me hit that. Let me hit this. Let me hit this real quick, then we'll go. All right. Come on, man. We got to split. We got to go. They're waiting for us. I know, man. Let me hit this. Let me hit this, and then we'll go. Don't ask me how I know that stuff. All right. Last night, Rita and I watched the new Predator. That's right, we did. Did you know there was a Predator remake out? Yeah, it's good too, by the way. That's right, it's pretty good. It actually is pretty good. Predator. Now, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Now, we all know, right? We all know that it's never really a good idea to remake a classic. Just don't do it. You don't. But the Predator redo is really worth a watch. Okay, I'm just going to go on the record and say it. Dreadlocks, dude. Dreadlock dogs in this new one, which are pretty cool. So, enough of that. I'm not going to spoiler alert, But Predator, part 2, right? Redux, is good. And before you think I'm about to launch into the movies that were remakes and are as good as the original list type of rant, well, you can relax. I'm not going to do it. That would be boring, stupid, amateur. I'm not going to do that. But it did get me thinking, though, about 2 things. One, what are the absolute best sci-fi films ever made? And you go through those thoughts, when you see a pretty good movie, and that happened last night with Predator, the remake. So it's going through my mind, right? And I've given out this list before, but every time I see a good film, I always rate them against the very best. It's what Rita and I do around here, man. You see something good, man, that was pretty good. Was it as good as, right? Okay? And the second thing that hit me is that I'm okay with CG. I am. Because I asked myself the question, am I okay with this? Am I okay with CG? And I am. So I'm going to start with the second question first. Am I okay with it? And I know I'm surprising some of you with my answer. But yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with CG. In fact, I'm really cool with it. Now, I know what you're saying. Why? Well, okay. All right. Well, first off, we've always been okay with it. We have. Having fake stuff on the big screen has always been accepted, even when it's bad or terribly obvious. Let me give you a few examples, such as, every scene that is shot in a car, from the front. You got no windshield. You've got some movie projected in the background on a wall in back of the car. The driver's not even steering, right? Just holding the wheel or, just sitting there. Nobody cares, right? Just as long as the dialogue is good. We all know it's fake, but we're cool with it. And then there's like Howard the Duck. That was just a joke, man. I'm sorry. That wasn't even a good joke, Howard the Duck. But think about the animation. The animation that was in Forbidden Planet. That movie came out in like 1955, 1956. Think about that animation. Great then, weak today. You watch it, but it doesn't matter. Or the painted cells in the original Tron, right? We know that's not real, but we're okay with it. How about the robot shark in Jaws? It's a robot, and it wasn't that good, but we don't care. The Poseidon Adventure boat is upside down. It's on a set. We know it's fake. It's cool. The Wizard of Oz, the Flying Monkeys, the witch on her broom, right? We know it's fake. Of course, I could continue with a long list, but that would take hours, and I'm not going to do that. But you get the idea. We've always been cool with it. So when somebody says that today, man, CG, man, it just didn't look that good. Wait, stop with that. You were cool with all of the fakeness in the past. But now, right? So I'm okay. But the other day, I watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind again. And for like the 100th time, and I'm not exaggerating there. And yes, at the time that movie was groundbreaking, but go back and watch it again, like I just did. The animation sequences would get laughed at today, but you hardly notice it. It's all about the story. Today, CG is really good. And when you go and you get all acclimated to today's production and go back and watch something like Close Encounter, something that you just thought was so wonderful, and it is, don't get me wrong, but go back and watch it today. It's pretty amateurish. It's groundbreaking for the time, yes, but by today's standards, I don't even know if that would fly on Sci-Fi Channel. It's in everything. Sure, CG is all over the place today. But when it's good and it's combined with a great script, I'm all in. Look, okay, let me do this. I remember when things really took the turn when it comes to CG. And it's not what you think. It's when Peter Jackson came out with The Lord of the Rings. That's right. That's when stuff really got good. All right? Up to that point, I think that The Matrix was the bench standard, right? As it should have been, but the Lord of the Rings trilogy certainly took things to the next level. Just absolutely right on. Next month, Jackson is coming out with his next epic adventure, producing a film called Mortal Engines. And if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the trailers, and if you haven't heard about it, I would suggest that you do it right after the show tonight. But Peter is once again pushing the limits of CG. Go and watch these trailers. Holy crap. There's a few of them that you can look at. It's amazing. He also just released something else that you might not have heard of. And it's called They Shall Not Grow Old. And it was released in the UK back last week, the week before, November 9th. And it's a documentary about World War I with never-seen footage. And before you go, Jimmy, dude, wait, stop. Okay? Listen to me. Jackson took this old black and white film, he digitized it, added frames in between the frames, made it perfectly stable and smooth, fixed all of the audio, added color, real color, and the results are nothing less than amazing. And again, if you haven't seen it, you've got to check out the trailer, okay? It's called They Shall Not Grow Old. It's World War I footage, but it's better than perfect. You would think, I'm serious, this is just only Peter Jackson can pull this off. This isn't World War II in color. That stuff was garbage. Garbage. No, that stuff is garbage. They Shall Not Grow Old is real filmmaking. And when you see it, you're going to think that it was shot yesterday. I'm serious. It is that good. Peter Jackson is just pushing the limits, the boundaries. He's just got the technology. He's got the team. He's got the hardware. He knows and the vision. He knows how to go and get stuff done. And he proved it with Lord of the Rings, proved it with The Hobbit. Now I'm serious. This Mortal Engines. The name, don't let it freak you out. Okay, it's there in this other film. They Shall Not Grow Old. So anyway, with all of that, I'm just saying I'm okay with CG. I'm all in. Now I want to get back to my all-time sci-fi list. So that's your mission if you choose to accept it. Is check out the trailer for Mortal Engines. That comes out December 13th in 2 weeks. And They Shall Not Grow Old, that World War I documentary. You're not going to believe that footage is 100 years old. So with that, back to my sci-fi list. And it's kind of funny because I put this together a couple of times over the last 5 years, and it's changed somewhat. And I do this off of the top of my head. I don't have a list somewhere that I go and look or see what else other people like and all of that. But I was on the phone today with one of the studio executives here in Southern California Movies. And I asked him, I said, okay, so I'm doing my top 10 movie sci-fi list tonight. What are yours? You know, you run a division of a major film company. Give it to me. And he popped off like 5 really quick. Half of them were on my list, by the way. You know, and so he said, give me yours. And I did. So I'm going to do it for you right now. Number 1, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Number 2, Blade Runner. Number 3, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Number 4, The Matrix. Number 5, Star Wars. Number 6, Silent Running. Number 7, The Andromeda Strain, the original. Number 8, Forbidden Planet. Number 9, Back to the Future. And number 10, Donnie Darko. And I know what you're saying. Oh, Jimmy, man, what about Contact? Jimmy, what about The Arrival? Jimmy, what about Inception? Jimmy, what about Interstellar? Jimmy, what about, Logan's Run? You know, what about Soylent Green? The Omega Man? We could go on and on and on and on. But today, when I put the list together, this is what I thought of first. I think I've seen all of these movies this month. Rita and I did not see Silent Running, though. But in the last couple of months, Rita and I did see The Andromeda Strain. A couple of months ago, we did see Forbidden Planet. Last month, we saw Back to the Future. Last month, Donnie Darko. The Matrix, we just watched 2 weeks ago. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I watched 2 days ago. Blade Runner and 2001: A Space Odyssey, we didn't watch those this month. But that's how big of movie fans we are. So let me go on to my honorable mentions. And I just gave you some. Contact, right? Arrival, of course. Interstellar, right up there. The War of the Worlds, the new version. That's right, with Tom Cruise, right? All right. Solaris, both the original Russian version and the remake with George Clooney. That's honorable mention. And Night Watch and Day Watch, which are also 2 Russian films. You need to write this down. Night Watch and Day Watch. You need to go and watch these films. They're both in Russian. Watch them in Russian with the subtitles because the special effects and the audio and the way that it's put together, you got to watch the original, do the subtitles. You're going to be watching the movie. You don't even trip. But go and watch Night Watch and Day Watch. Certainly some of the best filmmaking in the last 10 years on this planet. Really good science fiction. And another, the Russian sci-fi industry, by the way, just doesn't get enough credit. They don't. I mean, really good stuff. Solaris and Night Watch and Day Watch, all Russian films. But it also includes another Russian film. It's called It's Hard to Be a God. It's not only great sci-fi, but it's one of the greatest films ever made. It's highly recommended. So you need to go and check that out, too. It's Hard to Be a God. So there is your homework. You know, and it's like, oops, I forgot to mention Terminator 2, Aliens, They Live. I get that. You know, this top 10 is just what came to me as I typed. It's really that simple. Now, I know that my list is different than yours. It's supposed to be that way. And I would like to know what you think. Post it up in Twitter. We'll be opening up the phone lines. We can talk about this tonight. But just don't tell me that your favorite sci-fi film is Inception, because I'll block you. I'll block you. That's trolling 101. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's Fadernight. Open lines all night long with Teresa Yanaros and Divine Frequency on the airwaves, followed by open lines. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929, and I'll be right back with Teresa Yanaros after this short break. Stay with us. This is Fade to Black.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, And you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, folks. It's a holiday season with hope in the air. Things to look forward to and no time for despair. Health can be a challenge, and so can the mail. So Get the Tea wants to help you by giving you a sale. Buy 2 months of Super Tea and get 1 month for free. No limit. That's buy 2 months of Super Tea and get 1 month free. That's a savings of $35. Where? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Scroll down on the front page and find the buy 2, get 1 free ad. Click it and save. Orders over $100 get free shipping. Send the gift of life. Change tea at GetTheTea.com. We have many non-GMO organic supplements just waiting for you. This holiday season, enjoy health and Thanksgiving with GetTheTea.com. Want to call us? 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. GetTheTea.com is a proud sponsor of doing what's right. That's GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fader Night. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. And now it's time for author, teacher, and host, Teresa Yanaros and Divine Frequency on the Airwaves. Take it away, Teresa.
Hi, this is Teresa Yanaros at Divine Frequency. Thank you so much, Jimmy and Rita, and shout out to the Fadernauts tonight. You are tuning in to On the Airwaves Radio. The times have changed and tides have shifted. Let's ride the airwaves. This show is packed with high energy mediatainment live For those of you who know me, I've got a lot of energy, and no, that's not the coffee, my friends. That's just me all the time. Sorry to burst anyone's bubble there. We are diving deep into the realms of the world. We are exploring the farthest reaches of the unknown. We're leaving no ocean unexplored. You can join me on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for deeper perspectives on a vast array of news media topics, from current events to popular culture. If you want to join the conversation as we are flowing in the ether this evening, go to Twitter and live tweet with Divine Frequency using the hashtag DF Airwaves. Today is Thursday, November 29th, 2018. All right, let's dive right in. Hashtag Mermaid Life. Welcome to part 2 of this 2-part special series, Your Inner Magician. I am extremely excited about this show tonight. You guys are in for a treat. I have been working on this workshop now for about 6 months. I've presented this workshop across the country. I will be presenting this workshop in depth at Conscious Life Expo. I would love to see you guys there. And today we are going to be talking about a portion of this workshop. So today we are going to discuss the focus method of truth seeking. So the last segment of On the Airwaves that we discussed, we talked about how truth seeking is a process and that we learn and grow through cycles of development. If you missed this episode, please check it out on my YouTube channel, Divine Frequency, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications for new videos. So we also explored the idea that cycles are extremely prevalent in this experience, from the physical cycles that govern our biology all the way to cycles of psychological development and spiritual development too. That's right. We discussed the definitions of discernment, making judgment calls, intuition, trusting your gut, and wisdom, soul level understanding. We discussed what I coined the truth seeker's sphere of wisdom, or the interplay between these three concepts. So today is part 2, and we're discussing the focus method of truth seeking. So we're going to today talk about a system that's going to help you tap into the magic of your own conscious awareness. That's the key here. You can go through life unconsciously, or you can choose to be a conscious creator of what you're building in this experience. And that's where the magic happens, right? We're going to learn how to process information effectively. That's important, right? We're going to gain crucial life-changing perspective, hopefully, right? We should want that every day. We're going to learn how to master ourselves and our experience. So we're going to talk about that. So first, I'm going to do a quick recap. So discernment is the interplay between wisdom and intuition. And this is just my opinion. I know everybody's got their own opinions, but this is the way that I put it. I think it's an easy way to understand this. Intuition is gut level knowing without any conscious reasoning involved. This is fine-tuned through using it and then learning from the results. That's the key. Ding, ding, ding. Discernment harnesses the wisdom that you have and your intuition, and is essentially your ability to make judgment calls in life. So making judgment calls, that's an easy definition for discernment. Now, wisdom is the soul level understanding that you obtain through processing experience in life. Okay, so let's dive right in. The focus method of truth seeking. So we learn and we grow in cycles, which we discussed. In my opinion, each cycle is an experience offered to you in this realm. It's an experience offered to you. Each cycle is a gift. You choose whether or not to open it and explore what's inside, or you can fail to recognize the cycle as a gift entirely. The path of a truth seeker is one who seeks and finds the gifts in all aspects of this experience. That's my opinion. We should be looking at all of our experiences in our life as opportunities for growth. So The gift, we're talking about gifts here, the gift is the nugget of wisdom obtained from the journey. So if you think about your life in cycles and you think about every opportunity and an experience, at the end of that opportunity, there's wisdom to be gained. There's a golden nugget of wisdom that you will gain from that experience. And if you look at it that way, it can kind of help you when you're going through cycles that maybe seem a little bit difficult. Maybe something you don't really want to be going through, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So I like to call each of these cycles a truth seeker's cycle of wisdom. That sounds really sexy, doesn't it? I like that phrase. So a little less flowery term is the focus method. When you focus on your life, you choose to bring potentially automatic processes into the realm of conscious awareness. And like I said, this is where the magic happens, my friends. We have free will every single moment to either sail through life carelessly and miss opportunities for growth and change. We access the truth by focusing on it. When you choose to see what's going on around you, you choose to fully engage in this earthly experience. Time for a soul upgrade. So the focus method looks like this. Focus. F is find. O is organize. C is create. U is understand. S is synthesize. So we have find, organize, create, understand, synthesize. We're going to go through this now. So let's start with find. The process by which we seek and find nuggets of wisdom, which we talked about earlier, is initiated in many different ways. Think about find as the portion of your experience, as the moment where you have an opportunity for growth. Every moment you have an opportunity to function out of love and compassion and with forgiveness for yourself and others around you. Every moment you have an opportunity to use your divine gifts and talents in order to actualize your soul mission and be the creator's hands on earth. You have that option. So these are your opportunities for growth because we level up ourselves and the collective when we choose to function out of service to others and use our gifts to spread love and bliss across this realm of existence, right? So sometimes you're able to recognize a moment of opportunity, but sometimes they're a little bit harder to identify. And I would like to actually talk about this concept in depth. This is the way I thought about it. If our experience is broken down into cycles of wisdom, then I wanted to get a little bit specific here. So if we're talking about the beginning of a cycle, I wanted to think about find. So what would be the beginning of a cycle? Well, I broke it into goals and I broke it into events. And remember, we've been talking about conscious awareness. So each cycle has the potential to be traversed unconsciously or consciously. We're going to talk about that a little more too. So if we're going to break this into goals and events, let's talk about goals first. So finding goals. Let's say that you're unconsciously seeking goals, because we also need to break this into unconscious and conscious. So unconsciously seeking, you might have a general idea of the goal, but let's say you're not fully invested and you're not completely focused. Maybe you're distracted. Maybe you have yet to obtain experience or skills or tools or confidence needed in order to actualize these goals. So let's take getting a college degree, for instance. Maybe you're going to school because your parents paid for it. Maybe you're coasting along without determination. Maybe you don't really have any emotional investment in this goal. So you might be missing opportunities for growth within that cycle of wisdom. So I think it's also important to consider unconsciously seeking related to potential. So maybe you have a potential inside you related to gifts and talents that are inside of you that could be accessed and refined, but you're not seeing this because you need to bring your conscious awareness into your own potential. So I would say that this category is for unrefined goals. So not accessing your true potential due to a lack of conscious awareness or focus. So let's shift. Let's say now that we're going to talk about goals that you're consciously seeking. So you're aware of the goal that you want and can play an active role in manifesting it. So examples of this arena of find would be the desire to get a college degree in sociology, or the desire to throw a going away party for your friend, or the desire to build a treehouse for your child. So these are very clear examples of tangible goals that you see as opportunities for growth. Okay, so that's the goals section of Find. So let's talk about events. And let's talk about unconsciously seeking events. So you might be unaware initially of the beginning of this truth-seeking cycle. Let's think about this. Sometimes these events happen seemingly automatically. You might not recognize these cycles as cycles of wisdom until much later. But, now that we're having this talk, maybe that's going to change, right? Because now you're bringing this into your conscious awareness right now as we're having this conversation. And that's kind of the point here. So examples of this arena of Find are a sudden death in the family, losing your job, or winning the lottery. The sudden death in the family, that might be an opportunity for growth because you can connect with other souls and learn how to handle a hard time with grace, love, and care. I mean, there's so many different things from a death in the family that those are a lot of cycles of wisdom right there that are potentials for growth and change. So losing your job might be an opportunity to learn about how to pivot in your life, how to begin something new, how to deal with stress. Think about it. That goes on and on. Those are a lot of cycles as well. So these opportunities might not even be recognized as such until you learn how to bring opportunities into your conscious frame of mind. It's incredible. When you start using this method, you start thinking about things like this every moment. You start a new cycle, you go, yep, that's a new cycle of wisdom. What nugget of wisdom can I obtain from this experience? So let's shift. We're going to talk now about consciously seeking events. So you choose to traverse your experience with fervor and excitement for the new skills that you're going to learn and the traits that you will refine in your process toward self-mastery. So every step of the way, you choose to function out of your heart space and you're aware of your surroundings and what each moment you're seeking for what that moment can teach you. It's just a shift in thought. So that's Find. We're going to talk now about Organize. So on the focus method, F is Find, O is Organize. So let's go to Organized. So this is the step where you figure out how to move toward your nugget of wisdom. Okay, so the beginning is Find. You just started, right? Then you have to get organized. That's the second step. I know that some people go, wait, what? Organization? That should not be a step, right? So let's take a look at the different types of organization. And we're going to use the examples from before where we broke it into unconsciously and consciously seeking. So let's go with unconsciously seeking. And we're going to use the example of dealing with a death in the family again. So let's say you're dealing with a death in the family. You might be so distraught that you fail to recognize this as an opportunity for growth. And now that you're considering this method, begin to look back on your own life and assess. So what situations have been presented to you and how did you organize them in your mind? With a death in the family, there's a ton to be organized and reorganized, right? You might need to organize the trauma in your mind, right? That's the first one. You might need to organize the funeral itself. That's a big one. So you might also be juggling other people's reactions and grief processes as well. This is a very large cycle of wisdom, and the opportunities during these particular times are abundant. Let's say that you're consciously seeking this and you're in the organization phase. Let's talk about the degree in sociology. Let's shift and talk about that one. So let's say that you might decide that you want to look at what this process looks like. So you start breaking it down. How many years do you want to dedicate to this goal? How are you going to break that down into smaller goals? How are you going to hold yourself accountable for these goals? You see what I'm saying here? So each of these different opportunities for growth, you have to get to the point where you go, all right, now I'm going to start organizing so that you can successfully manifest that nugget of wisdom. Okay, let's move on. That one's pretty easy. Create. So this is where you execute the goal or you experience the event and its aftermath. Okay, so this is the manifestation stage. This is where manifestation happens. This is where the action occurs. Okay, we're going to break this one down again into goals and events. So goals. If you're unconsciously seeking, this is where you got the degree in sociology, but you made a C average and there was a lot that you didn't learn about the topic. It's not that you didn't obtain other nuggets of wisdom along the way in other areas, but the opportunity cost might have been missing out on this particular cycle of wisdom. Now, let's say that you're consciously seeking the degree. So you got the degree, you learned a ton, you developed a clear understanding of the course materials, and you fully immersed yourself in the college experience. You made networking connections along the way, and now you're well set up to get a job out of school because of your attention to detail and networking. Now, the reason why I bring these two things up and put them next to each other like this is because you can clearly see how the process flows where your mind goes. Flow state is easier when you ride the wave. I talk a lot about this. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest, and objects in motion, right? You know the rest of that one. So it's important to bring your conscious awareness into what you're building and what you're creating. So let's move to events now, of creating events. So let's say you're unconsciously seeking in an event. So let's look at an example of winning the lottery. So let's say that you move forward in life and you spend the money carelessly, and after a few years, it's all gone. You've spent it all on yourself. Maybe you missed an opportunity to help change the world. Maybe you've missed lots of opportunities. But if you're consciously seeking, let's say that you moved forward in life, you found a financial counselor, and this counselor helped you invest the money, and you were thoughtful and you were careful, and you even found a way to help others with the money you've obtained. Think about all the good that can come out of things when you focus, when you're conscious and you're aware of the nuggets of wisdom that you're accessing and what you have the potential to do. Okay, so we went through find, we went through organize, we went through create, and now we're at the other side, okay? This is the fun part. Now we're at understand and synthesize. This is where a lot of the magic happens. So let's talk about understand. So this is where you look at the data from each step so far in the focus process. So this is where you gather information about what you created and how you created it. You uncover all aspects of the cycle in order to access the data and recall and discover what happened. This is the process of discovery. This step is sometimes not available to the unconscious seeker, or sometimes it becomes later on available in the seeker's life. So you're creating, but maybe you're not understanding why or how you're creating what you're creating. So the conscious seeker will have methods to assess their creative process. For goals, the conscious seeker will have metrics that they already put in place in order to determine success. So if you are setting goals and you're finding actively and consciously in your life, you can actually set yourself up for success when you get to the other side, because you'll actually have some kind of framework in place to determine if you've been successful. This is insanely useful. So for events, the conscious seeker will have a framework of understanding to be able to identify opportunities for demonstrating love, compassion, and service to others. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you went through a death in the family, and because you're aware of the opportunities that you have in life to grow, you go into this situation with an open heart and you say, okay, I am going to be present in the moment. I'm going to be available to my own grief process and to the process of grief and the people in my family as well. And I'm just going to make sure that when things arise, I'm using my mind to focus on what's going on so that I can be available and I can use my compassion and my love and my service to others in those moments. And what you'll find is that when you function like that, your whole life changes into beautiful opportunities, and it kind of blossoms into this really positive arena, and it continues to build and grow. So let's talk about synthesize. This is the final step of the focus process. This is when you integrate all of the information that you learned. So first you discover, right? You're in the discovery process of understand, where you're uncovering all of the information, all of the data. Then you have to actually synthesize and process that data. So you have the opportunity to upgrade your soul by accessing that nugget of wisdom available to you. So that's the synthesis. That's when you actually obtain and synthesize and impart that wisdom into your soul. So in this step, you have the potential to fine-tune your discernment skills and intuitive faculties. And that my friends, is what we're going to talk about right now, because that's the key here. So this is really diving deep. This is super #mermaid life. The next session of this the next section of this lesson, say that 5 times fast, is in harnessing your inner magician. So now we're going to understand how discernment, intuition, and wisdom play into our ability to navigate and expand through our cycles of seeking truth. This is the fun part. So, quick recap. We've got find, organize, create, understand, and synthesize. So what I want you guys thinking about is, what tools do you have at your disposal as you're learning how to navigate your own cycles of truth seeking? Okay. So now we're going to go through the system with the concepts of intuition, wisdom, and discernment in mind. So let's break this down. Find, this is the what. So we're, the who, what, when, where, why. We're going to talk about that. So find, this is the what. What is your goal and why? So you're going to visualize your goal. What is it that you want? Now you have to build that intrinsic motivation for wanting that goal. So you can ask yourself why you want to do something. So this is when you're using your intuition. This is the female aspect. How does the option feel, right? You're thinking about it. How does it feel? If I want to go to Mexico for 5 years to do a documentary on whatever it is, you're going to think, how is it that makes me feel when you visualize that goal? How do I feel? That's the female aspect. Okay. Then you're going to use your wisdom. That's the conglomeration of all of your thoughts and experiences from the past using unity consciousness. This can also be called consideration. So you're harnessing what you've learned from the past. So then you use your discernment. This is the male aspect. So this is the action-based aspect. You're making a judgment call based on your wisdom, so what you know from the past, and your intuition, how you feel in the present. And then you're making a decision for the future. So how do you find your goals? How do you use your intuition and your wisdom and your discernment? Shift. Now we're going to talk about organize. This is the where and when do you achieve your goal. So you're going to make a plan, create a list, right? Lists are one of my favorite things. You set a schedule. You break down larger goals into smaller goals. We could go on and on about organize. We're not going to go down that because that's probably a whole workshop on itself. But the tip here is, when you harness the knowledge of what organizational processes worked for you in the past, you can use systems that actually work. And if you don't have a good one, you're going to try new things until you find something that sticks, right? So ask yourself how you organize your goals. Then you're going to create, right? This is the how. How do you achieve your goal? So you manifest it and you learn as you go. This is the bread and butter of the experience. You might need to reassess the past decisions in order to fully achieve your goal. How did you tweak the find section? Did the nature of the goal change slightly? Did you tweak it a little bit? So then you want to pay attention to what's happening. So this is where observation and record keeping come into play. We talked about that earlier. So then we're going to shift into understand. So this is the why. Why did things turn out the way they did? You're going to look at the data that you gained. What have you learned? Keep in mind, if you don't have metrics in place, sometimes it's hard to assess the data. Do you journal about the process? Are you keeping track of your goals and how they're brought into fruition? How can you improve that process? So what you want to do at the understand phase is you actually want to analyze each step of the way so far in order to uncover information about the process. This is the kicker, my friends. I'm telling you, if you initiate this process here, I promise it will uncover so much from what you're going through that you'll start to have insights. Wow, I didn't even think about that. So you're going to go back and you're going to go, okay, in the find section, was I intrinsically motivated? Was the goal well defined? How realistic was the goal? So start asking yourself questions about when you were at the find phase of this truth-seeking cycle. Next, think about organize. What process did you use in order to organize the system? What tools did you use? Then create. What did you create? What metrics did you have in place to gauge the success of the goal? Compare what was created to the initial goal, your intuition, the wisdom that you brokered, and your discernment. So you're going to write down the facts of how you felt. You want to think about your intuition. Think about the wisdom that you used. What was it about your experience that you used in order to broker that decision? And then what decision did you make? Okay, so uncover the facts. Then you synthesize. That's the last part, is synthesis. So that's the who. Who are you now that you've gone through this cycle? Who did you become because of what you created? This can take time. How much time do you spend in the synthesis section? This is so paramount. In order to grow, you must integrate lessons on a soul level. This part is what refines your intuition and helps you with your discernment capabilities. So you have the opportunity to upgrade. Because new knowledge is obtained, you can use this knowledge to upgrade your sphere of wisdom. Upgrade your wisdom. You can integrate the nuggets of truth from what you've been through. What wisdom can you obtain for this experience? Upgrade your intuition. Because you had a new opportunity to test it, now you can see how spot on you were. You can upgrade your discernment. Because you had a new opportunity to test it, you can also see how spot on you were. So that is the focus method, and you've now completed a Truth Seeker cycle of wisdom. I encourage you to take an opportunity to go through an experience that you've had in your life and think about how you can apply it to this system. And then I want you to ask yourself, where did I get stuck along the way? Which part of the cycle did I get stuck in? And then how did I ultimately get out of it? And what did I learn whenever I completed it? And what was the nugget of wisdom at the end? So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I am your hostess, Teresa Yanaros at Divine Frequency. Thank you so much for joining me for this evening's celebration. This is On the Airwaves Radio. This life is all about riding the wave between the known and the mystery. For a sparkly dose of mediatainment and personal empowerment with a refreshing blast of glitter and truth, join me weekly on Thursday nights on Jimmy Church Radio at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. The live Twitter hashtag is hashtag DF Airwaves. The times have changed and tides have shifted. Let's ride the airwaves. All around us are pieces of the gigantic cosmic puzzle. Let's attune to its frequency. Bye.
Thank you so much, Teresa. This is Fade to Black, Fadernight. We'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas. Come join us for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton. This year, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken, and I'll be hosting the panel with Eric, Linda Moulton Howe, Jason Martell, Billy Carson, and David Wilcock. Join George Norrie, Nassim Haramain, Robert Schock, Daniel Brinkley, Grant Cameron, Julia Mossbridge, Teresa Yanaros, and another 50 speakers who will be presenting at the 2019 Conscious Life Expo. Just go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and a full conference schedule, or click on the CLE banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Kat Deely, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com. Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black, Fadernight, Thursday night. Open lines all night long. Thank you to Teresa Yanaros. Divine Frequency on the airwaves. That was a great life lesson there tonight. Let's open up the phone lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And let's go to, let's see, who's going to be up first? Let's go to area code 408. You're up first on Fadernight. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb from Sacramento.
Hi, Deb. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight.
I know how you are. You know what? You were asking us last night, would we miss the bunker cam if we couldn't see you? And what did we get out of watching some dude on the radio and blah, blah, blah?
Mm-hmm.
And let me just tell you, if you were watching someone who you considered famous and entertaining and you're the star of the show and you were tuning in, wouldn't you want to see them?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you want to see their expressions and how they're reacting to your conversation and all that?
I get maybe. It's just the vibe for me, right? With not just having a camera lit up in my face right in front of me, and I'm just speaking and into the conversation with all of you and whoever the guest is. It's just a different vibe, and
well, you don't like being on display like that.
Well, it's just trust me, every single night. It's like being and it's not like being on television. That's different. That's what you're doing. But it's like being in a zoo, and I'm in a cage and people are just walking by and going, oh, there he is in his habitat. It's just like, man,
I get that. It would feel weird after a while, I think, but it is fun for us to watch you, especially when, something's really funny and we can see your expressions and what amuses you. And maybe when someone's being, crazy when they're talking to you, maybe watching for you to roll your eyes or whatever you're going to do to react to it.
It's a good sales pitch. It's a good sales pitch, Deb. You're doing good. You're doing good.
And let me finish. Not only that, but for the female Fadernauts, we're getting eye candy.
Oh God.
If you were to put Rita in there, I'm sure the male Fadernauts would feel the same way.
Oh man, now we're going down a strange road. Okay, all right. So what's on your mind?
Okay, what's on my mind is Karen Dahlman's reading the other night about ongoing disclosure and how she said that he's already begun the process with the 5 sides, meaning, like you said, the Pentagon of the space program and bringing this out, and that all the hatred towards him is the fear that he will disclose. And I thought that was amazing.
Right.
I mean, that was so exciting when she read that one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a fun night with Karen. And
always.
I mean, the thing is, it's so unpredictable. It takes. I wish there was a way, and you can't. You just don't know what the spirits and the guides are going to do. But if there was a way where we could get more questions in, I was timing it, and we could do about 2, maybe 3 per segment. And I guess in a weird way, I'm kind of spoiled with like Shah, the Loon Witch, right? Where she's doing one every minute. Bam, 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 bam.
Right. Well, it's a totally different process.
It's a different process. It's a totally different process. You're right. But it was amazing.
The questions that you did ask, though, each one that you did get in, every one of them were great, and especially the one, too, where the guy got to ask about his pet, because it's almost a year since I've lost my little dog, and I miss her so much, and I was really missing her that day. And when she opened up, she said, everything that we read is for everyone listening, even if you don't get to ask a question or whatever.
Right.
They're speaking to everyone listening, even if you're going to listen later on a podcast. And it just so happened, she talked about the animals and them always being with you, and it just made me feel better. It made me, feel comforted. So it's amazing how, they just know who's listening. It's just kind of crazy, how they have a feel for the spirits, who's listening and where these messages are going to,
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I agree with you on that. The Stephen Hawking was pretty amazing. I thought that was the Stephen Hawking was really cool. Yeah, all of it was really, 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 really good. That was just a fun night. I mean, they're just, when you see it done, that's the other thing. That's why we ran the live video. When you see it done, and I'm watching it in real time, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I haven't actually sat down and done a real Ouija session with somebody, myself personally. So I can't wait to be able to have that opportunity and sit down and really do it. But watching them, that's a real eye opener. There's something going on there. I don't know what it is either, but that's evidence of something.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, I'm going to let you go so you can get on the next call, Jimmy, but thank you for taking my call, and please don't abandon the bunker cam anytime soon.
Oh, we're not going to. Don't worry about it. The bunker cam's going to be there.
Well,
okay.
I mean, the video, whatever.
Okay.
That's getting to watch.
All right. Good sales pitch. Good sales pitch. I'll talk to you, Deb.
Honey.
Okay,
Have
bye.
a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, there's something about it for me. It's just, man, and we've been doing it for years. And now I was just a running comment, which had nothing to do with tonight. We reset everything and working on the website and stuff, and we thought we had everything sussed out, but it just didn't work out that way. All right, let's go back to the phones. Area code 718. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Ho, 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 this ain't Santa Claus. How you doing, Jimmy?
Hey, how you doing, Avalanche?
I am doing fantastic. Jim, I can't believe what happened to me. I recorded Jingle Bell Yodel, this Christmas song, a video about 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, I put on Facebook, I'm getting all kinds of hits. And it's such a great Christmas song, I think. And people are trying to catch on it.
Oh, right on.
Maybe you could check it out and play on your show. It's called Jingle Bell Yodel. You can get it Robert Cribby Facebook or Bob33 YouTube. And, yeah, man. Oh, man. You're awesome, cool, man. I love what you said the other day about possibilities. Anything is possible. Man, I know that for a fact now. What I found out in the last year has been fantastic. I mean, there's so much more, Jim. There's so much more. And you know what, Jimmy? I don't think we're supposed to get I think we're supposed to have more time here. I think we're going to be living longer. I really do.
You think we're going to be living longer?
Yeah.
I think we all are.
I think we are. I think I have come up with a new word for, I hate the word senior citizen, young olders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, no generations, man. We're all the same people. We're all living, breathing the same air. Young kids, older kids, right?
Yeah, the other day I was driving in my car, Bob, and I was thinking to myself, 55, right? I'm 55 years old. And I feel the same as physically. I mean,
of course, I do too.
When I was in my 20s,
Jimmy, I'm going to tell you, I feel about 19 years old.
Yeah.
I really do. And I watch this 100-year-old guy running the marathon. Come on, man. I mean, this world's changing.
Yeah.
And I'm out of the matrix. I'm out of the box, man.
No, I agree.
don't believe anything anymore except my soul, my mind, and God.
No, I agree with you. And thinking about this, that in 5 years, right, I'll be 60, and that, retirement is, 61, 63? I don't even know what it is
so
now.
Stupid.
And I'm just like, what? I'm good for another 50 years. I feel great.
Of course you are. I mean, you're going home when they say they're going to take you home. That's it, man. And my guys told me, hey, Bob, your journey is long, but the wait is long, but the journey is going to be longer.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. And they told me my music's going to do great things, and I really believe it now. I got so many ideas, Jim. So many things to make this world better.
Yeah, never stop, Bob. Never stop.
Oh, John Cena said never give up. That's me, baby. Never.
Thank you. Thank you for the phone call, Bob, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, so maybe you can check the song out and give it a spin.
What's that?
Maybe you could check the song out. Maybe.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll check it out. I can't do
Jingle
it.
Bell Yodel.
I can't do it this very second.
Oh,
but
I know.
Okay.
Because the yodel is back like never before. The yodel is back to open up more doors, man.
Right on, Bob.
I'm bringing the yodel back.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so much.
Same to you, man.
I'll talk to you. You got it. Thank you, Bob. He is right. Let me jump up to here. This is let's see. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. This is Sean from Frederick, Maryland.
Hi, Sean from Frederick, Maryland. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I called you. I was the Marine who called about the 29 Palms UFO and all that. Remember that?
Yeah. Do you have something knocking in the background? What is that?
I have you on my Bluetooth speaker in my car every night, and I have an hour drive home, and I listen to the radio, listen to you guys.
Oh, so it's a noise in the car then?
Yeah,
okay.
I apologize
all right,
for
that's
that.
fine. That's fine. Now we know what it is. It's not the men in black knocking on the front door then.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. So what's on your mind tonight, Sean?
Well, first I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Corbell. Awesome job, man. You're doing fantastic with getting this information out there. Really excited about Monday. I saw your post, Jimmy, that, God, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Did you already? So you purchased the movie? You're on the East Coast, right?
I am, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So you're going to watch the. You're going to get the stream, and see. The thing is, you get the stream, which means you get all the extra bonus footage and all that other stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
that.
what I read, but. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good day. It's it just actually just popped up again here on Twitter. Rita just posted it right there. World premiere, Bob Lazar. It's pretty exciting. Bob Lazar right now, Sean, I don't want to bum you out, but right now, Bob Lazar is in my town. Right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Oh,
right now, as I'm talking
to you. Amazing.
Yeah, I wonder what hotel he's at. I should go and go see if he's in the bar. That's actually
that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I never thought of. Did you ever do that when you were a kid? A band comes into town. The Scorpions are in town, so you go downtown to the hotel that they're probably at to go see if you can get a sighting. Did you ever do that? I did.
we kind of did something similar to that. We had what is it? The guys from Jackass. I think it was Little Man and someone else over there.
Right.
They were actually in Frederick trying to find a good spot to shoot a skit or something.
Right.
And I went downtown. I tried to find them, and I must have missed them. I was on the wrong day or something. But yeah, I tried to find them. I remember hearing about that.
I mean, the things that we used to do when we were kids, but right now,
yeah,
Bob Lazar is in my town. So there you go. I bet you Corbell's phone is just ringing off the hook. Hey, man, what are you doing? What? I haven't talked to you in 2 years, man. Why are you calling? Nothing, man. What are you doing tonight? It's just, that's what's going on. I should.
Bob Lazar really is like the godfather of everything in the UFO community. He is like he told us about Area 51.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this. I'm going to call Jeremy right now, live on the air.
Oh my God!
Let's call Jeremy. Let's put him on speaker. Let's see here.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
No, I don't hear anything.
Why isn't the speaker turning on? It's ringing.
Oh, I hear it now.
Yeah, but that's not the speaker for some reason. He didn't pick up. I'd have put his ass right there. I would have put him on the. I'd have put him on the air.
I actually sent Jeremy an email. I was communicating with him through email about a month or two ago. And I know he's really busy with getting his the Bob Lazar footage out there.
Right.
So I didn't want to keep bugging him and emailing him back and forth and playing that whole game. I know he's busy. So I was going to wait until after the movie to reach out to him again. I had contacted him and told him about this document I stumbled across while I was in the Marine Corps back in 2012. It's a document from NSSI, which is National Security Space Institute. Never heard of it before until that day. I have a whole backstory about how I kind of stumbled across this document. I still have it. I shared this with Jeremy Corbell. No one else has this, just me and him. But it regards a base to fight extraterrestrial attacks. It states that in there.
Really?
Yes, it does. And I'm not going to put it out there, exactly where it's at. I can say the UK. I can say that. And it doesn't go into detail about, actual beings or anything like that. It could just be a term referring to, asteroids or, meteors and stuff like that. But I have to say, it's a pretty broad statement to put in such an official document.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I see it? Can you send it to me? I won't publish it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt anything, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it. You know, finding stuff like that inside of government documents is a tough thing. It is out there. You can talk to John Greenwald, and which I have done, where I've said, okay, what's the one document, right? What's the one thing? And, you know, he's got a few instances of it, and they're what you are talking about. And there is one Navy document where they mention the protocols, and I can't remember the specifics of it, but they had it released. He got it, Freedom of Information Act, and it was some kind of manual. And then the next version of the manual that came out, it was gone. It was edited out of that page. But the original one is out there, and you can go see it at the Black Vault. It is there.
The Black Vault. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to check that out.
Absolutely, Sean. So, well, thank you. And send me, my email is simple, Jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Send me that page. I want to see it. I really, really do. Send it to me. All right,
Sure
and then
thing. What I have it on my Google Docs. I can send you the link to it and share that access with you.
all right, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right,
Jimmy,
and then
take care.
we'll talk next week after you see the movie, and let me know what you think.
Oh man, heck yeah! You take care, Jimmy.
You too, man. Drive safe.
Will do. Bye.
Thank you so much. And it's December 3rd, this Monday. And the other thing that I think is, it's like the Holy Grail, right? What is actually published out there that we haven't seen? Now, of course, there's the FBI documents, and there's Blue Book, and there's that aspect of it. But what is the other side? Right? The protocol, what to do. I asked an LAPD guy, this was so funny. I was, a member of our family had passed away. And so I was waiting for the coroner, and I had the police there. It was a natural, death. It was, it wasn't anything like that. But the police were there, and we're waiting for the coroner to show up. So I had this LAPD. I have to ask Rita. It was a sergeant and then just a cop, and I had the sergeant there for a minute, and then I just had, he was just a cop. And I sat him down. Maybe it was the both of them. I have to ask Rita. And I said, so, what's the protocol if a UFO lands in Los Angeles? And he goes, what do you mean a UFO? Like a flying saucer? I said, yeah. I don't know. What, they didn't teach you that? Isn't there anything? And he goes, I think we would call somebody else. I said, well, what would you do? He's like, man, I don't know. So you're driving down the road, UFO lands, people are calling in 911. What do you guys do? I don't know, man. I don't know. And I think his answer was, we would call the National Guard. I think that's what he said, but he said that there was no training on it. He said, but he didn't know how they would actually handle it. I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, let's take a break right here. This is Fade to Black. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to your calls right after this short break. It's Fadernight, Thursday night. Open lines all night long. Your phone calls are next. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. The call-in numbers, simple. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. All right, let's go back to the phone. Let's go to South Dakota. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello?
Yes, you're live right now.
Hi, Jimmy. This is Teresa. How are you doing?
Hi, Teresa. How are you?
Good. I will not be all over the place like I was last time I called in. Guess what? I have great news for you, Jimmy.
What's that?
Okay. About a week ago, I was out walking, and Star Nation, that's who I referred to them as because that's the name that we use in our native culture. And I was walking home, and I saw this light. It was blinking above me, and I mean, there's a lot of lights out there, but it just kept blinking like it wanted my attention. So I stopped, And I looked up at it, and I was like, okay, you know, like, what's going on? And I started meditating again and asking them to come down a little bit closer if that was them. And they came down, and they started making this J in the sky. Like, they would go down and then turn and then come up, and then they would go back up. And I was like, what's going on? You know, I was looking up. I was like, okay, what are you trying to show me? And I had just talked to my friend Jim Klansnick a few days before that. That's the UFO investigator that I had told you about. And so I was like, well, maybe they're validating that what him and I talked about was legit, you know? I mean, and so then I was like, okay, is this about Jim Klansnick? And then it just stopped. And I was like, okay. So I kind of just kept walking, and then it did it again. It started blinking. And so then I stopped again. I go, okay. I go, like, come down here, be more direct with me. And it came down. It made another huge J. I mean, this one was gigantic. It went in the sky. And I was like, Jimmy Church?
Oh, stop.
I mean, I talked to them pretty simple, you know.
Right.
I'm like, Jimmy Church is this what it's about?
Right.
And then, no kidding, man, they just started going crazy. Like, they were just making these huge circles.
No.
And I was like, yes. I was like, okay, are you guys, I was supposed to make contact with him because I was starting to, you know, I had got on your radio show, and then I was getting all these followers and all these people, and I get kind of like freaked out about, I'm still pretty new to the social media, so I was kind of like, whoa, so many people are following me, and then, like, it just kind of scared me a little. I started getting scared. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have went on there and went public. And then I was like, okay, well, is he legit? That's what I was asking them. I said, by the time I got home, I said, is he legit? And they were making the heart. They started making the heart in the sky. That's their when they validate for me, they make a heart for me. I mean, a literal little heart in the sky. And so I said, okay, cool. I feel safe. Okay, I will listen to him more, you know. And so I started listening to your show more. And then, anyway, last night when you guys I got home. I usually get home late because I'm out researching at nighttime too. And I was tonight. I apologize for not being able to listen to Teresa. But anyway, last night I got home, and I kind of tapped into the last part of that Scott
Walter, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I started resonating with what you guys were talking about with, my dad is part Native and part white, and his ancestors come from Sweden and Europe and France, and we have Irish in us, and we come from kings and queens. And he did his DNA all the way back to 800 something. And when I went up there to see him about a year ago, he said, Trudy, you need to sit down. And he wanted me to sit down and look at this ancestry with him. And I was thinking, this is kind of boring to me. Like, okay. And I was watching, and he was showing me. He was like, look, this is where we come from. And he goes, we come from kings and queens and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, great. You know, I was like, all right, thanks, Dad. And not knowing that this was going to come up last night, when you guys started talking, and you started talking about that woman that was burned, and I was like, whoa. I mean, my heart started beating fast. I was like, why am I resonating with this? I mean, that's my body telling me the truth. You know, it's like I'm getting like where I want to throw up, and I'm like, what's going on here? And so I told my mom, I said, Mom, I got to go listen to this. And I just went to this corner, and I just started listening to you guys. And it started talking about how she was helping these people, and how she was, they were going up against evil people, and they were, you know, kind of like changing. She was working against them, I guess, to help these people you guys were talking about. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, like, oh my God, that's what I'm doing today. And then you started talking about how they said it was in the camera. Well, then that was kind of a code word for how judges talk about and I'm like, wait a minute. When I went back to the res this summer, and I went to that different timeline, for some reason, I don't know why I did this, I started journaling. And when I was journaling, I had seen my dad go by in his 20s, and he was sitting in this truck, and he looked at me, and he nodded his head, but he didn't. And I was like, right away, I was like, that's my dad. Oh my God. And I told you I had gone to his house to go see him, and nobody was there. And that was really odd, because there's always somebody there. So I'm thinking, so I started journaling. I'm like, okay, I'm on the reservation here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm here, blah, 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 blah. And I would take screenshots of it, and then I would just send them to my email. So I had them in my email, and I still have them in my phone. And I was journaling, and I was like, God, why am I doing this? Like, why am I writing it on a piece of paper, and then I'm screenshotting it and I'm saving it? That's not anything I've ever done before. So when I was listening to that, I was like, gosh, I have some of this woman's traits. Like, and I remember when Laura did my reading, she was like, Teresa, you're a wise elder woman. She goes, you have been here many a times. And she's like, you came here to heal the planet. She literally told me that. Jimmy, she said, you are a global healer. She goes, the alignments that I've seen of you, I've only seen this once or twice, but I've seen it before. She goes, they're usually global healers. And she goes, you have a big mission here. And I was like, okay. And she goes, when I say your name and I hear your name, she said, I see nothing but a blue aura around you. And she was like, you're divinely protected. You're protected. And I said, okay. Well, then last night when I was listening to you guys, I was like, gosh, I've always had this fear that I'm going to die in a fire. Like, I'm always, like, really super paranoid of this, like, I'm burning up. And I told my kids, if I ever die and I don't have a will done, don't cremate me. Do not burn me. And so last night I was like, what is going on? I was telling my mom today, I said, something's weird going on. I said, I feel like I'm carrying somebody's spirit, or there's something going on. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to go find out. So today I had gone to Bible study for her to take this other lady, and we were sitting there and we're talking, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we come out of the church, and there's about 5 of us ladies. We're coming out, and the ships were above us. I mean, they were there. They were the white, shiny, shimmery ships, 2 of them parallel beside each other. They were flying over my community, and I look like that, and here comes Ellsworth in their bomber. Literally, Jimmy flew right underneath them. And I was like, whoa, and I got everybody's attention. I go, look, everybody look. So everybody's like looking up, and they're like, well, what's going on? And I was like, because they're church people, I didn't want to say they're UFOs. I was like, oh, those are God's angels. And they were like, whoa, none of them questioned it. Nobody doubted it. Ellsworth went around, and it circled like that, and those 2 ships they kicked on their afterburners again, and they spit out like white, just a little white trail of smoke, and boom, they were gone. And I was like, holy crap, like more people are starting to see this stuff with me. I'm not crazy. I know I'm not, but it was cool to just have these women see it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go out and go talk to them tonight because something's going on here. So I went out tonight. I just got back a little bit ago. I went out and sat on this back road with a friend of mine, and I called them down here, and they were all over Jimmy. When I was looking through my binoculars, it took them less than 3 seconds to cross my circle in my lens. That's how fast they were moving across. And I was like, okay, this woman this Aunt Tiara, is that her name?
I don't know.
That's who you guys were talking about last night, right? Was the Aunt Tiara?
Oh, yes.
Remember?
You're talking about Scott Walker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you're following me, right?
Well, I was just wondering if you're talking about somebody on Twitter or another Fadernight. No, you're talking about Scott and I last night. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was like, am I resonating with her? I was asking them, and I prayed. I smudged off and I prayed, and I was sitting on the outside of the pickup, and I was like, am I resonating with her? Am I connected to her somehow? Is there something you guys are trying to tell me? You know, if you are, make a big circle. And they just started circling above us. They were circling, and then these cars. There was a highway patrol that was sitting at the entrance where I went in on this back road, and then this other pickup with these great big huge lights comes just barreling down the road, and I'm way on this desolate road. And I'm like, okay, I'm being watched again. They're following me. And so then I just sat there and waited for that car to go by, and I got inside the pickup, and I was like, my heart's beating. I'm like, okay, I got my answer. There's something about this Aunt Tiara, something. I'm resonating with her. I don't know what it is. I know that
Are you taking, well, let me jump in real quick. Are you taking pictures? Are you shooting videos of this stuff?
I do, Jimmy. I mean, my camera on my phone, when I do stuff, it shoots them so far back. You know what I mean? That it's really hard for me. When I try to pull them in, it's just blurry. It's just like a big blur. I did take pictures a little bit today because they were out again this afternoon when I went out. They were out again, and so I try to get them in my photo, in my lens, but it's like I don't have a good enough camera to bring them in. I video so much that I quit doing it because it's just like I see them daily. It's almost like going outside and I look up and I see them, and it's just like,
well, you need to document everything, and it doesn't matter if you can see it on your phone or not. You shoot the video, get it onto your computer, and preserve it. I mean, let other experts, look at it and try to figure it out. But, if you're having these kinds of sightings and contact and experiences on a daily, you need to be documenting. I mean, what if something happens, you're not shooting video, and the moment is passed, and you're going to go, well, you know what? Jimmy told me to shoot video. I could have, but I didn't, and that thing just passed right over my head. And
they did tonight. They went right over us.
See, and did you shoot video? No,
I didn't.
Right,
no, I didn't.
right. So I want to see this stuff. I want to see
Jimmy,
it. I want to see it.
I have whatever it is, and I'm telling you this on my life. Whatever it is, I know I'm safe with them. I know that I belong to them.
I believe you.
And I know that they're like tonight. They were downloading me. I probably won't get the information that they downloaded me with tonight because I asked them a specific question about that woman. I said, "Am I related to her? Am I carrying that DNA with her? You know, is there something that because why am I resonating with her? I'm a person where I don't talk about anything unless I know and I get validation, and then I go public with stuff. But I'm like, okay, so when it downloaded that information to me, I was just like, my head was pounding. I was like, okay, they told me a lot of stuff, but I usually don't, how it works for me is, they will tell me stuff, and then when I go to sleep, I'll slowly like drift off, and then I can remote view. They'll start taking me to places and putting me in situations, and if I have to stay focused, and when I come back out of the dream, I have to like really not listen to anything. I can't answer no phones. I can't hear nothing. I just have to focus on that, and then I can see the picture, and then I can start downloading the information, how they, whatever it is, it'll either show up on the internet, or somebody will come up to me and start talking to me, or I will read something. So it's like, it's kind of like decoding their information, how they tell it to me. And so I know when I asked about this woman tonight, this Aunt Tiara, if there's a connection I have to her, yes, there is.
Let us know. Let us know. And do me a favor, Teresa. I've got to get to some phone calls here.
Okay.
But shoot some video, and after you get the download done, I'll talk to you next week, and let me know what you find out.
All right, well. I will do that. Thank you, Jimmy, for bringing all your guests that you have on. Totally are on point, and I want you to know that you and your wife, I believe Rita's your wife, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys are doing a fabulous job, and I want you to know sincerely from my heart, 100%, they approved of me talking to you, and I say they above. They approved of me talking to you. They put me in contact with you. So I trust everything that's passing through your network, and I trust telling you stuff that I'm safe saying it on the air with you guys, because that's who I'm supposed to be talking to. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Teresa.
You're welcome.
And have a great, safe, amazing weekend.
I will. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good night. Yep.
You too.
Bye.
A flying J in the air. Yeah. I kind of like that. Now, it would have been, what if it went, like, What are those planes that did the smoke, right? The smoke riding, whatever they call, and they did and they finished it with an I. All right, let's go to New Mexico. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Jared in Albuquerque.
Hey, Jared in Albuquerque. How are you?
Doing good, Jimmy. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it's perfect. How was yours?
Oh, pretty good. I got to spend it with family, and it had been like 3 years since I'd been able to spend it with family, so that was really nice.
Oh, did you guys get in a really good fight? You got to have, right?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh,
yeah,
then it's not a complete Thanksgiving, then, is it?
Yeah, I did not get a full Thanksgiving experience.
It's so funny. It's inevitable. But anyway, everybody that I have talked to over the weekend where I was, and this week, hey, did you have a good thing? Everybody had a great Thanksgiving this year. Nobody had any complaints.
Yeah, no complaints all around, it seems.
All right. So what's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, so I got a couple things to tell you about. I had a UFO sighting that I had called in about before, but I was kind of rushed and wanted to give you a little bit more detail as to what happened.
Okay.
And I was living in Albuquerque at the time still, and I was sitting in front of a friend's house waiting for him to get home. I was staying with a friend at the time, and I was watching the Albuquerque, like the Sandia Mountains, watching the mountain skyline and all that. And I saw a light appear above the Sandia Mountains, a white light by itself. No other colors were involved, like you would see a lot of times, with like a helicopter or an airplane. And it was not moving. It was just hovering over the mountain, and then it started moving upwards. and then it started moving again back down. And it started doing this in a pattern. And it was the same heights that it had gained in altitude, and it decreased each time over and over. And then not long after I saw the first light, a second one appeared above it. And this light started doing the same thing, but the difference was the distance it was traveling was a little greater than the one below it. So they would both move and gain altitude at the same time, but the one on top would gain a little more altitude each time. But it was like they were synchronistically doing it. And eventually the second light disappeared, and then the first light disappeared. This whole thing lasted for about 30 minutes total.
What do you think?
I think it was interesting. At the time I thought maybe it was a helicopter, but generally, I couldn't really figure out why a helicopter would just be hovering over the mountains like that. And just, that flight pattern seems pretty odd, So it could have been anything, but I asked that group on Twitter, the Sandia ET, whether it was them, because apparently, according to their story, they're a group of extraterrestrials that live in the mountains. And they said, of course it was us. Who did you think it was, silly?
Did you ask them what they were? Yeah. Did you ask them what they were doing? You need some validation, right? Did they describe their ship as what you were seeing?
No, they didn't really elaborate on that much more than that, and I didn't think to ask them. I'll have to try getting a little more detail out of that.
Right.
But I wanted to kind of segue into the Sandia group because there's been some kind of interesting developments with them. They had mentioned the Zeta Reticuli race that they were talking about. And they have been guarded about describing other races that are involved in official first contact.
Okay.
Their reasoning for that was that they felt like it's up to those other races to introduce themselves to us. But lately they've been kind of open about some of the other races that they've been seeing. And one of the races mentioned was an avian race. One that was blue, and one that was also had other feather patterns as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. I thought that was pretty interesting, too. It lines up with Corey Good's testimony pretty nicely. The other thing that was pretty amazing is the UFO conference that happened here in Albuquerque recently.
Did you go?
I wasn't able to attend it, but from what I've heard, they did some night vision watches, and people that normally do night vision watches saw 2 to 3 times as many UFOs as they would normally see in California when looking at the Sandia Mountains using night vision goggles. They saw like 30, they saw 20 the first night, and then a little more than 20 the second night, and almost 30 the third night.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Did you see anything in the sky that night during the conference?
I didn't look, and I wish I had, but there's a lot of activity over those mountains anyway.
Yeah, it depends on
some other.
Yeah, it's weird, because on sky watches there have been nights where in Joshua Tree. We did it 3 years in a row. I didn't attend it last year, and I feel bad about that. But the previous 3 years, it was like insane, right? Insanity, just off the hook, where it was constant. And up at ECETI the last 2 years, and I'm not exaggerating about this at all, there was, I would say, each night that I have been up there, every single night, but there were a few nights where it was constant. And when I say constant, for an hour or an hour and a half, where there was 2 or 3 things going on at the same time for an hour. So it wasn't, and I remember I turned to everybody that was there, the screaming that was going on for an hour. And I said, what, anybody keeping count? And I remember somebody go, I think it was like, we probably saw 60 or 90. Okay. And it was like that craziness. Now you need to stop and digest what I am trying to suggest here. Think about that, where you're looking up. I'm looking in one direction. I'm tracking something. And there's everybody else out there that are looking in other directions, tracking other stuff. At the same time, we're not looking at the same, and I'm yelling and screaming, and I look around and nobody is even paying attention to me. And I'm losing my mind. They're losing their minds in the other direction. How crazy is that?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It seems like there's more than one extraterrestrial base or like information station within mountains, and the one near East seems to be one.
Well, it's
the one that Albuquerque, another one.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with you, Jared. But there's another aspect to this, and I keep talking about numbers. Okay, I do. And the reason why I keep talking about numbers is I want everybody to really fully digest, understand, and have it be second nature, which is this. Our Milky Way has 200, and just our Milky Way, not the rest of the universe, our Milky Way, 250 billion stars. Okay? Right now, after all of the research with Kepler and everything else that is going on and this has only started to happen in the last couple of years and in the last year, and now astronomers and cosmologists, they are now saying things like, we might have more planets than stars in our Milky Way. Now, digest that, where just 25 years ago, we didn't know of any other planets outside of our solar system. We didn't.
Yeah,
we did not. And we were wondering if there were any planets in the Milky Way. We were questioning if we were some miracle. Now, the number is there could be more than 250 billion planets, that's with a B, in our Milky Way. The number could be more because every star has probably got a planet. Some may have 10. We have 9. Right? Now think about this. Now, how many of those could be rocky planets with water? Now, let's just go with the percentage here, right? Let's say 1 out of 10. So now we're talking about 25 billion planets that are worth checking out that could have life in our milk. 25 billion. Not 10, not 20, not 1,000, but 25 billion. So we're talking about seeing these remarkable things in the sky, right? How many civilizations out there know we are here? There is a lot of action going on, man. A lot. And it's just a numbers game. We are far from alone. We are far from alone.
I think there's a reason that the genetics are mixed throughout the universe. Is because the entire universe is a melting pot, just like America.
Absolutely. You're half alien yourself. Hey, Jared.
Oh, we all are.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're all stardust. Listen, I got to take a break right here, man. Thank you for the phone call, and thank you for making contact, my friend.
All right. Have a good one, Jimmy. Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too. Bye.
Have a great one. This is, I just love Thursday nights on Fade to Black. All right. I'm going to take a quick break right here. I'll come back to more of your phone calls. If you're on hold, stay right there. This is Fade to Black. It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. So Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com, dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, it is Fadernight. Open lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921 6929. Let's go to area code 985. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, it's Ziggy, Jimmy. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ziggy. How are you, man? Wow.
Doing fine.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been, what?
Yeah.
Couple of years.
Yeah, a year.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen to your stuff tonight. I got the universal question I'm going to give you the answer to. But anyway, Tuesday, I'm walking my dog, and all of a sudden I heard a big sonic boom, and looked up, and it was a little silver, looked like a penny or a dime, shooting across the sky. And I heard another sonic boom, which rattled me, and looked up, and there was a jet chasing it.
No way.
Jet had two concrete coming out the back of it.
And this is during the day? You were walking your dog during the day?
Yeah, 11:15 in the morning. Yeah.
And where? What state, Ziggy?
Louisiana.
So
St. Tammany, outside of New Orleans.
So you had a Class A daytime sighting.
Yeah, I made a MUFON report 96633 on the MUFON.
Right on, man. So what happened?
Anyway.
So what happened? No, let's.
It's chasing whatever it was. I mean, the silver dot just disappeared. The jet was hooked up big time.
Right.
I could see the jet's perfect, and it was hooked up. Well, a third sonic boom came, and I couldn't figure out where that came from. And then a fourth sonic boom came, and then they flew off into the distance. And the direction it came out of the southwest, it was headed northeast, so it was headed towards it'd be Mississippi or Alabama,
right? That
direction, which is Keesler Air Force Base over there, and we have Bell Chase over here,
right?
So it's it was pretty weird, but they had a woman riding a bicycle, and I stopped her. I said, "Did you hear that?" She said, "Yeah, it sounded like 4 transformers blew." I said, "Yeah, it did." Anyway, I'm gonna give you the question you asked those cops in Los Angeles about what are they going to do if the UFO shows up.
Well, hold on, Ziggy. Let's let the audience know you're a former law enforcement professor. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to give all that away, but if you want to do that, we can. Chief Detective.
30. Okay. You ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Our manual is 1.1.1, universal questions and answers. It's for contact. Now, since the 50s, we've been broadcasting all this music and television shows out there into the universe. Well, the universal question they have been told to ask us to confirm a contact is, what's the first thing you know? Now, I'm going to give you the answer. Okay, now, I'm not supposed to do this because I'm sworn to secrecy, but I want all the Fadernights to know. What's the first thing you know? Jeb's a millionaire.
No. Bump. Well, I was on the edge of my seat, Ziggy.
You were.
I was on the edge of my seat. I've got my here in the bunker. I've got my pick of destiny. I just want you to know that.
That's good. I'm glad you found it. Well, anyway, I'll let you else get on here, and I sure enjoy listening to everything.
Ziggy,
I love it when you're on. Your voice is never sound.
Thank you, Ziggy. Thank you so much, man. And did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah, it was. Same holidays like for you and me. It's the same way. But anyway, it's getting few at the table, if you know what I mean.
That's right.
Anyway, you have a very, very Merry Christmas, you and Rita, and I love you guys.
Thank you so much, man. It's good to hear your voice, Ziggy. Behave and be well, my friend.
Okay, buddy. Have a autograph.
I'll talk to you. Yeah, you too. Ziggy, this is probably... he's probably listening right now. He's going to correct me. But I'm going to say 3 years ago, he sent me some stuff, but got this wonderful letter. But in the letter, I got the pick of destiny. Yeah. So if you've seen the movie, Jack Black, if you've seen the movie, Ronnie James Dio, the pick of destiny. Thank you so much, Ziggy. And that's that's a Class A sighting right there. And it was pretty cool how he described it. He said it was silver like a dime and sonic booms. Wow. And so coming from the southwest, headed to the northeast from New Orleans, and then chased by 1, 2, possibly 3 fighter jets. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, let's go to area code 805 right here, Southern California. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. How are you?
I'm all right.
What's going on?
My husband said I should call one more time and fully answer the question you asked last time.
Which was... What was the question? I think I remember it. What have they told me?
Yeah,
that was the general question. What have they told you? Okay. Well, hold on for the listeners. Chloe and her husband had contact with some blue orbs, and then she's had contact since then. But one of the blue orbs. I want to describe this correctly without getting into the whole story, but entered her. And
I think they all did.
Well, okay, but again, without getting into the whole story. So that kind of just sets the tone for this. And my question was, what have you found out? What message did they give to you? Did they talk to you? Did they communicate? And so...
My answer last time was I don't know exactly who I'm speaking to, except for one instance. I'm going to tell you the other things I've been told, but when I knew who I was communicating with the one time, the 8-foot-tall holographic blue manted being who was standing next to my desk. It's really kind of ridiculous and pointless, and you'll be like, really, that's all you remember? And it's like, yeah, that's all I remember. I used to do website and graphic design. I had my own business, and I was frustrated one day because something was wrong with the code, and it was throwing the whole page off. So I got up after going through the page like 5 times or more, went to the kitchen to get another glass of tea, and when I came back in the room, it was standing next to the desk, and I'm like, that's not really there. And I'm like, kind of glancing over at it, but trying to ignore it, like that's not really there, because your mind's like, then you're not really seeing that. And I sit down and I'm like, hi, and it's like, your error is online, whatever, and it's this, it told me where the problem was in the coding. Mm-hmm. And I went down to that line and looked over, and there it was. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I said, what should I call you? And it said, you can just call me Blue. And I know there was more conversation, but I don't remember anything else. And I was alone in the room at that time. My husband was in the shower. The kids were in school. So the other things I've been told haven't happened while, well, I can't say I wasn't. It's weird. I've been told, go and lie down. And I'm like, okay. So I go and lay down. But because I'm so skeptical about, like, is this real? Is this true? Is this something else? I heard the first time a beeping noise, a low-toned beeping noise in my right ear that started right when I laid down, and it continued through the whole experience. And I kind of like went out of consciousness or into another state of consciousness, and I was having a conversation, but I only remember bits and pieces of the conversation. And what I remember from that was the talking about how things change shape, and the frequency and vibration causes things to change shape. When people talk about seeing something in the air and watching it change shapes and wondering how they do that.
Right.
The other thing, they were talking about DNA, and
what do you mean? What do you mean they were talking about DNA?
They said something about DNA, and they said like Scottish DNA. And see, I would like come back to full consciousness and hear this beeping in my ear, and I would go back into this altered state. And then when it was finished, I I came back to full awareness, still had the beeping, and then it stopped. And then I got up.
Well, but wait. What do you mean Scottish DNA? What else did they say?
I don't, like I said, I only remember bits and pieces of what we were talking about. I was having a full-blown conversation, but I only remember the part about vibration and frequency changing the shape of something, and like Scottish DNA. And so I went and looked it up the next day, and I'm like, what is like Scottish DNA? And so when I looked it up, apparently there was an entire study on Scottish DNA, and something about how it's very resilient or very, it's very strong. I don't know, the DNA, because of all the people that used to pass through that part of the world on their travels to go other places.
But they didn't tell you this. This is what you read, right?
This is what I read.
Okay,
right.
Well, hold on. Let me back up for a second, though, Chloe. Okay, I'm going to try to keep you focused here. So when you just called and you said, I want to answer your question, what did they tell me, right? Okay, right. And so the first thing you said that you were told was
the error in my HTML coding.
Right. And then you can call him Blue.
Right.
But other than that, there was nothing, right? Right? You can say yes or no.
Nothing that I remember.
Okay, exactly. Okay, and then the second thing that you were told was to go and lay down. Before they told you, this is what I want to get to, before they said go and lay down, did they say, hello, we're here, or just out of the blue, you get go and lay down?
It was just out of the blue.
Right, okay.
And this just happened probably in January of this year.
Okay.
Happened.
So,
and
well, go and lay down, and this is when the clicking happened?
The beeping.
Or the beeping?
Yeah.
What ear was this in? Was it in both ears, or the left ear or the right ear?
This was just in the right ear.
It was in the right ear.
And when I closed my eyes, I saw this pattern of energy, and it was a beautiful pattern of energy, and it was gold and pink at the same time. It's hard to explain that. And so I saw this pattern of energy, and heard the sound, and then was having a conversation, but I only remember things change their shape with frequency and vibration, and basically with frequency. And like Scottish DNA. So I'm sure there was a lot more to the conversation if I could remember it.
And was there another conversation, like a second or a third or a fourth?
Yes.
Okay.
So later that was probably in January, so probably in February of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it was like, go lay down. And I'm like, okay. This time it was a high-pitched noise in my left ear. When I closed my eyes, the pattern and color of the energy I was seeing was different, but I wrote it down. I don't remember what it was offhand, but I wrote it down. And
was Blue in the room each time? Or was Blue only?
No,
okay.
I have no idea who this was.
Okay.
I have no idea. I didn't see who I was speaking to. That's what I mean. I don't know who I'm speaking to.
Okay.
The only time I've ever had communication and knew who I was speaking to was with Blue. So that time when I laid down, I don't remember the conversation. All I remember was coming down. It's like laying on your back, looking up at the bottom of a ship, of a craft. But I didn't know it was a craft at first because this light was so bright. It was the most, amazingly bright light. And I'm staring up into it. Then suddenly it just goes out. It doesn't like fade out or close off or anything. It's just gone. And I'm looking at the bottom of this craft, and it's moving. The bottom of it. And I think I mentioned this to you before, and the way I describe it is when you look at a chocolate fondue thing, the shape that it makes, like the waves that it makes, the whole bottom of this craft is moving in these waves, but I guess it's metal. I don't know. It's
Now, are you seeing this with your eyes closed, or is this a physical thing?
I think my eyes were closed. That's I don't know. I guess it was an out of body thing because I've done that before, but it's just really weird when these things happen. It's not anything normal, and you don't sometimes know what state you're in or what's going on, and you forget bits and pieces, or you're overwhelmed. And it's
I get that, Chloe. I get it. Okay, so this voice tells you to go lay down. This time it's a different sound, but it's in your left ear. You're laying down, and you have this experience, out of body, this vision. But you're looking at the bottom of this craft. The light disappears, and now you're looking at this swirling motion on the bottom of this craft. What happens
wavy.
next? Yeah, what happens next?
Well, then I just come to full awareness, and then the noise stops, and that's the end of that. So I don't know what else happened. I would love to see a wonderful regression therapist who wasn't creepy like the guy that I saw and didn't go back to, but because I'm sure there's more information, but no, I don't consciously remember those things. I mean, the other communication I've had, and I've reiterated this many times, I don't know who I'm speaking to. The voice that's told me things throughout my life, and I've talked to, and I never questioned who I was speaking with. Like before I married my first husband, it's like I'm just speaking to someone like they're a friend because they've been with me my whole life. I'm like, is this marriage going to last? And they said no. And I said, then why am I doing it? And they said, well, in order to get where you want to be, you need to do this. And I had to trust that. And it was a horrible marriage, but it got me to where I needed to be because my husband now has needed me in his life, and I was led to him. And, our story, kind of, I think.
Yeah.
So,
now, that was, so this late, or the last one that we just talked about, that was in February. Have you had contact since then, this year?
I don't know. I know you're either know or you don't know. I haven't had an experience like that. But when you've been speaking and interacting with these beings your entire life, it becomes part of you after a while. And it's hard to, if I hear something, like I'm told something, like something comes to me out of nowhere, like I won't consciously be like trying to research something or whatever, and something will pop into my head. And then a month later or 2 months later, it's like I'll hear it somewhere, and I'm like, oh. And it's nothing that I could have just known. And you know what I mean? It's
no, I don't. Like I mean, give me a specifically what?
I don't know. Just say some scientific study or.
A scientific study popped into your head? Tell me, Chloe. Talk to me.
No. I need to start writing this stuff down.
Yes,
so that I have specifics but see, I don't pay it. I would tell you one thing, but it's really weird, and it's like way out in left field. And
well, tell me. I've got nothing but time here. I've got 7 minutes before the break. Tell me this extremely strange thing that I'm not going to believe. I
don't even believe it. Okay.
Well, let's give it a try.
The people that I speak to over in Halcyon believe it, so it's just really weird to me. Supposedly, I work, and that's why I lose time at night. I'll lose hours, and supposedly I am working on transmuting energy. And I'd never heard of that before, transmuting energy. And when I went in and talked to them about it, they're like, oh, yeah, like they know all about this. And I'm like, I don't know anything about this. Is this a real thing? They're like, yeah, this is a real thing. And I'm like, okay. So I am helping shift the energy on the planet somehow, transmuting the energy. And what I was given to work on was racism. I mean, I knew that it wasn't mine because I've never been racist in my whole life, and suddenly these thoughts pop in my head. I'm like, what is this? And I get really frustrated, like, what is this? And it's like, you're transmuting energy. I mean, you need to take that and send love back to it or ground it and change it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but apparently during those missing hours, I know what I'm doing. But consciously right now, it just sounds ridiculous.
Why is that? That doesn't sound crazy to me.
Well, you know,
I thought you were going to go just bonkers crazy. That sounds cool. Sounds productive. It sounds like something that has meaning to it. And I think it's fantastic. I thought you were going to tell me something crazy, something nuts.
Well, it feels, you know what? It feels crazy. It feels...
Why? Why would that be crazy?
I can't prove anything. I don't have any type of validation. There's no way to test it.
But it makes sense. It's like, Chloe, that just makes total sense to me. That just sounds normal. I think you're spot on the money. And I think whatever it is, that's kind of, that. I mean, if you're telling somebody, you're talking to your best friend, your parents, your kids, your best friend, somebody that you work with, going, I just got this message last night in my mind, and I don't know what to do with it. And what's the message? Well, that I need to focus on racism, and if I just concentrate on that and I transmute this energy into it, we're going to help racism on this planet. Whoever you're telling that to is going to go, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Nobody's going to look at you like you're nuts. They're not.
It feels like that. I feel like,
Why? Why? How does that make you feel nuts? That should make you feel normal and blessed.
Because my whole life, you say I should feel blessed, but my whole life has been interaction with someone. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's these beings or if it's someone just screwing with my head, which is what I worry about. And you know that. I've said that before. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if I'm working with these beings and that's real and the spiritual stuff is real, then that's awesome. And I would be so happy about that. But I don't know. And there's no way to prove that unless they pick me up, have me consciously recall, be wide awake on a ship,
well, what
sailing
would that,
through the universe.
Right. But what would that change?
It would change a lot for me because the way my mind works.
Yeah, but you couldn't share that with everybody.
I would tell you. I would be like,
you could tell me,
picked
but
me up.
Now see, and that's where the crazy part comes in. So now you're sitting there with your same friend going, I was taken away on a spaceship, and we went around.
I wouldn't tell you.
Right,
but I would
exactly.
know then. I wouldn't be struggling with it anymore.
Well,
it wouldn't matter about if someone believed me or not because I would know it was real.
Yeah, but you wouldn't tell the story. You wouldn't tell the story. So maybe you would. Maybe you would. I don't know. Chloe, life is good. Life is good. You are blessed. All right. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Well, it was very quiet because both my daughters are living in Arizona now, so it was as good as it could be for as quiet as it was.
Right on.
If you know what I mean.
I do. Just as long as you're thankful, and it was a great day. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Chloe, have a great, safe rest of your weekend. Okay, we'll see you. Monday is a possibility. There's more about that, but we'll see you next week for sure.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, Chloe. Be safe and be well. This is Fade to Black. I'm going to take a quick break right here, and then I'll come back and get to more of your phone calls next. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. It's Fade to Black. It's open lines. We got one segment left. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of Numana Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the Numana banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Oh, you guys on Twitter, you guys are too much. You know what? I think that number's too low. I think that number's too low. You got to push that thing. You got to, $1,000, couple of grand. You got to motivate. I don't know, $400. What's $400? I mean, that barely $400. That like repairs a scratch on a rim. That's what that does these days. You got to motivate. Cool Cash Monday. All right. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Get to your calls in a second. I want to, we've got one segment left too. So there you go. All right. Now, what was that? So I set the tone, and this is what's really weird. I set the tone tonight. I really thought that I was going to get schooled on my top 10 list of movies. And you guys can't agree with me on that. You guys can't. I'm very, very surprised. And my comments about CG, are you cool with it? Or did I lay out such a compelling monologue tonight that you guys all just agreed to me? $400 almost enough for 2 ounces of top shelf green. Not here in Southern California. That'll buy you that I mean, the top shelf green in California it's like $1.80 now. I believe so. What is it? If it's, hold on for a second. So top shelf right now, if you go to the weed store, top shelf is 25 1/8. Oh, wait a minute. So see, my drug, 25 times 8. So it's $200 for the top shelf. Top shelf. You know what's funny? You go to the weed store now, they give it away. You want a free joint? Here. Okay, thank you. Want a free joint? Thank you. Want a free joint? How about you want some of this? It's crazy. Going to a pod store is like my favorite thing to do, and I don't even smoke. It's just, I feel like I'm breaking the law, man. It is so much fun. Just go there and just hang out. $400 buys an eighth of Element 115. Hey, that's a good name for some weed right there. Element 115. That's a good. I want somebody to grow me a strain of Fade to Black. Yeah, I think there should be a strain of really good weed called Fade to Black. Could I sell it? Can you sell weed? Oh, you know what? Check this out. Can you ship weed? Can you ship weed if it's inside of California? It's legal here. It's legal. I think it's legal in Oregon, right? It's legal in Washington. Can you send weed in the mail from L.A. to Seattle or like L.A. to Boulder, right? Everybody in Boulder is high. Can you do that? Top shelf for 25. Rita just said, what weed store are you going to? Oh, man. Isn't that's about what it costs? It's $25. Top shelf. Top shelf. Element 115. So the other day, I'm in the car, and I come down off this exit ramp. I'm not making this up, and I meant to, I know, Fade to Black beer. I meant to take a picture of this. I will do it tomorrow. I will post it. I'm coming off the freeway, and right in front of the freeway ramp at the stoplight, it was a T-bone, right? So it's I'm acting like I'm on camera. I'm not on camera, so you can't see what I'm doing. It's a T-bone. At the end of the T-bone is this giant billboard. Weed delivery to your home. Right? I was like, what? And I was like, I guess so. Right? I guess so. Yeah, it's illegal federally. So, but if mail is inside of the state, I guess that's still the post office. But what about like FedEx? Can you FedEx? I don't even know why I'm asking. But weed delivery, right? And I forget what it's called. It was called, like 1-800-WILD-RIDE or something. I forget what it was. 1-800-WEED-4-U or something. But yeah, it was a billboard with a website and a phone number for weed delivery. Top shelf delivery. I think that's what it said. I'm not kidding. And I just thought to myself, how did we get here? How did we get here? So, all right. Now, I wanted to go back really quick. And sometimes on this show, I'll get to the calls here in a second. Sometimes on this show, I get a thought out and I don't get a chance to complete it. So, and I've got my notes here. So I want to go back. I had said that our Milky Way has 250 million stars, right? Now, I've been talking about this for about a year. And I know that I've given the example, you hold up a dime in the sky and you look and at the stars and the blank spot in the sky, you're looking at 150,000 galaxies, right? With a dime, little circle, right there. 150,000 galaxies. Each one of those galaxies with 200 billion stars in it, right? Okay, well, I've been driving this home, and I want everybody to just continue to understand the numbers that I'm trying to present to everybody, because a lifetime ago, 1929, there was only one galaxy. That's right. There weren't any other planets. There wasn't any other, we had our little thing here and they were counting stars. They had no idea. And so they were throwing numbers around, back then. I'm just talking about 1929, 1930, 1935, 10,000 stars, 20,000 stars, 100,000 stars, and 250 billion stars now in our Milky Way. Probably each one of them's got at least a planet. So now we're talking about 250 billion stars here, right? So I've been talking about this and talking about this and talking about this. Guess what happened last week? Nat Geo does a show on this where Nat Geo, man, National Geographic, has got astronomers and scientists and physicists, one after another, talking about the numbers that I have been presenting and trying to get everybody here to understand. And I know coming from me, it's like, man, he's not a physicist. He's not an astrophysicist. He's not an astronomer. He doesn't, he doesn't have any professional credentials. Why should we listen to him? But I study this. And I listen to the scientists, and I know what science is talking about today. So none of, it's we can talk about UFOs, and we can talk about contact. We can talk about night vision and sightings and night watches, and all of that is great. Contact and abductions and little gray aliens and all. Okay, we can do that all day long. That's great. Okay? Now, when we talk about 250 billion stars in our galaxy, and the fact that somebody wants to question if there's other intelligent life out there, and we know that Earth is 4 billion years old. Well, whatever. Okay, so that's the number that's thrown around, 4 billion years. And our sun is, X amount, 10 billion years. We have a very stable sun. Our sun hasn't heated up or cooled down, hasn't freaked out, hasn't burned up the solar system. It's been very consistent. Other stars out there, they don't last as long, or they're very unstable, and things happen, right? Okay, so, but with our solar system and our star, we've been pretty lucky, which has enabled us to do our thing here and life. Okay. Now, how many other stars out there are stable like our sun? And you've got to go through these processes. And the reason for that, and this is where, and I've mentioned it from time to time, but it's got to be mentioned here, is that how long does it take for intelligent life to happen? Okay, now, we've gone through single-celled to multi-celled, and amoebas and this and that. mammals, right? And of course, dinosaurs, but mammals. And then, Homo sapien, 200,000 years. 200,000 years. But it took us about 2 billion years to get to this point where I'm talking to you right now. Okay, it took us 2 billion years. So, how many planets out of that 250 billion number that we're throwing around here have been stable enough around their stars to produce intelligent life? Now, when we're talking about this amount of planets, it doesn't really matter. And what I mean by that is the number could be 10 billion planets that have developed intelligent life. They've been around that long. They've got water. They're in the Goldilocks zone. The water's not frozen. It's not evaporated. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's right there. It's perfect. It's a numbers game, people. It's a numbers game. So skeptics and everybody else that's out there right now, honestly, can just shut up. Science is now against anybody out there that wants to go, you know what, you guys are crazy, man. We've never been, there are no UFO. There is no aliens, man. We are alone in the universe. Stop. Because you are wrong. Very rarely, and I always say this on the show, when somebody says, hey, I'm right, you are wrong, back up. Well, in this case, I'm right. And now science is going against the grain of all of those skeptics out there that have been crying because they just want to fight and they just want to argue and they just want to debate. Well, now they don't have this argument anymore. I love these billboards, by the way. Need weed. Is that real? Is that real? Canna King, exit 125. I don't want to give any free advertising, but that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But I'm talking about delivery. This is great. Weed billboards on Fade to Black. It is that the numbers now are what they are. And I have talked about it. And then all of a sudden, Nat Geo has this special. And not about planets or things or the universe, specifically about our Milky Way. And that there are 250 billion stars, and I'm just like, what? Are you listening to this? I'm alone. And presenting this, now getting down to the specifics about rocky planets with water, the ability now, check this out. You know what? Everybody that's on hold, stay right there. Just stay right there. I'm talking. Listen to this. And I did not know this. Some of the most exciting news that I've heard in a while. So this astronomer and this physicist, and young kid too, by the way, I'm going to say under 30. So there are several different ways to detect an exoplanet. All right. And of course, one is when the planets move in front of it, the stars dim. Well, what if the planet's going around once every 30 days, right? Well, that's easy but what if it's taking 2 years to go around? And like ours, it takes a year to go around the planet. So you're going to have to look at and collect data on some of these stars for a year to see a planet go around and dim the star, right? Okay, so there's that part. But another way to do it, and I'm going to get to the third way in a second, another way to do it is gravity. Planet goes around, you don't need to see the planet, you need to see the star move, because the planet's going to cause it to move back and forth. So as the planet goes around, it gets pulled one way or the other. And so the software will read the slight movement of the star moving left or right or up or down or whatever it is, right? And you see the pull, and then you know. Now, the first planets that we detected, which are the easiest, are these giant gas giants, Jupiter or bigger. Those are easy to detect. Why? They're bigger. They block out more light. The gravity pull is there, but a gas giant isn't a rocky planet, and a gas giant's not going to have water on it, and it's probably just quite simply not going to have life. We're not interested in those, but those were the first ones that we detected. Now, we are able to detect a couple of different things. One, we can detect what a rocky planet is, and how that's done. I'll see if I have time. I'll get to that. Right? But is there life? Is there water on that planet? Is there liquid water? What is the temperature of that planet? Is it in the Goldilocks zone? All of this data now is coming in nearly in real-time telemetry. Let me explain. His physicist gets up and he goes, man, I started looking at this, and we're looking at, light, and we're trying to figure out light waves, and we're trying to, this and gravity, and it takes a long time. We've got to wait for this. He said, I like music. So I was thinking about sound. And if there is a way to convert light into sound, then we can look at the star and detect certain things, and we could look out, and then we could find about the planet, and we can listen to the audio and figure out what the audio is doing, right? Now, that's pretty compelling. And so he turns around and he starts playing this audio, and he goes, now look, listen to this, and this is one kind of star. Now, I can tell by listening to it that it's a red dwarf, and it's this old, and it's, wow, okay. Now let's listen to this star. This star's got a planet. So if you listen to the sound, we've got a lower tone, and underneath that, we've got this high-pitched thing, and this is telling me that the surface, the temperature of the star is this, and that the planet, and I'm like, what? And then he says this. He goes, this data we don't have to wait for. This data is coming to us in nearly real time, and we can detect all of this right away. We don't have to wait for the data. Now, what is important about this is, and the most exciting part, is that now detecting exoplanets, the ages of these stars, not only what the exoplanets are composed of, but how far away they are from the star, what the temperatures are of what is going on. Is there a day-night situation, right? All of these things are coming back, and it's happening quickly. So, and I mentioned this last year. Let's go back to Bill Clinton on Jimmy Kimmel. Bill Clinton on Jimmy Kimmel, 98, 99, 2000, where he goes, it's pretty exciting. We've detected 15 exoplanets. 15. Okay? Today, the number has exceeded 4,000. We're approaching 5,000, probably planets. And this is just all immediately around us. It's that Kepler is looking at a section of space like literally the head of a pin. Okay? And so when you're out there and you're looking at that many stars, and it's constantly scanning and looking, it's not scanning everything. I mean, we're talking about billions of stars. It would take forever. It's just doing this little pinprick, and now they are anticipating that number to start to jump, to go from 5,000 to 10,000 to 20,000, because they know, and you need to listen to me, they know that every single frigging star that you are looking at has a planet. Everyone. Now, I've got 2 or 3 minutes left. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take any more phone calls. This is too important. Our universe, in the center, it's dangerous. It's real dangerous. Yeah, we probably have a black hole there. It's unstable. There are other things that are going on, but there is so much energy that is happening there, a ton of radiation, and it's everywhere. Okay, so having a planet with life on it there is a different situation. But now we are understanding that. It's just, it's a radiation zone. Or it's just nothing living there. And, okay, so we can, but that, they don't even care about that. They now know that they don't need to look there, and they know that everything else, and especially where we are at, we're in a beautiful Goldilocks zone out here in the universe, right? We haven't had anything explode. We haven't had anything, crazy go on nearby. So we've been pretty safe and pretty solid for 5-10 billion years, right? That they know that section of the Milky Way on these outer bands, we're looking at, again, 200 to 250 billion stars. They know this. So their approach is different. They know that if you are looking at a star, that there is a planet by it. They just got to find the time to get everything done. That's where it's at. That's their mentality now, that every star's got a planet, probably more, and we're going to continue to catalog these things and discover them. So now let's take this thing to one more step, and then I'll say goodnight. There are so many stars that when you watch a science fiction movie, right, it doesn't matter, some TV series, right, or whatever, and even Star Trek, whatever, and they're out cruising out in interstellar space, and they come up to a planet or a star, and they go, okay, what is that? Well, it's an uncatalogued star system. It's an uncatalogued planet. It's unnamed. Well, everything is unnamed. It's all unnamed. Well, of course, the stuff that we see and we have time to, but there is so much of it out there that it's all 250 billion stars, 250 billion planets. Okay? Nothing is named. That's it. That's the end of it. It's not even numbered. The amount of data storage that it would take to number every planet and star and everything, every galaxy, it's insane. We don't have that many planets to keep the servers on them for the hard drives to store these numbers. Yeah, you need to think about that, because if we're talking about 250 billion galaxies, and each one has got 200, 100, 200, 250 billion stars, and then inside of that, there's another 200, 250 billion planets. We're talking about trillions on trillions on trillions on trillions on trillions. And if each one just had a very simple 8-bit number, right, a byte, think about what I'm talking about when I'm talking about data storage. So everything is there. Nothing is cataloged. Nothing. We are literally accumulating this information as fast as we can do it, and that's what these physicists are talking about. There is so much, and we know that the amount of stars. Okay, we're getting close to that number in just our own galaxy, and now we understand about how many planets there are, and that's it. We just got to go out there and name them. And that's where it's at. So it's the most exciting time. And for me to talk about this over and over again on this show, and to turn around and to have this special pop up on Nat Geo, I'm just like, here we go. It's just validating everything that we needed to hear. And it's a good time to be here right now. You watch this information with supercomputing happening the way it is, and certainly with quantum computers, and the ability to locate, process the data, identify the stars, identify the planets, and what the status is of each one of these planets. It's huge computing power, huge numbers, but now we can do it, and now we know what to go and do. It's exciting, and just watch. Just watch. And my prediction, I am serious. My prediction, the way that these numbers are getting crunched and the way that they're looking at it, we are going to get the headline, and the headline is going to be here very soon. We found a planet, we found the life, we found the signals, if we are pointing in the right direction, everything, and here we go, game on. And that's where we are at right now. There you go. All right, this is Fade to Black. I'm going to get out of here. We've got a great weekend. We've got a pretty crazy Monday coming up. We'll make that announcement coming here really soon. And obviously, it's December 3rd in the film Lazar. We'll talk about that over the weekend. We're going to make those announcements. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thank you to everybody that called in tonight. I'm sorry I blew everybody out, but sometimes I need to just talk. I just need to talk. Sometimes I just got to talk. I got to get it out. I feel better. I'm going to go home and get me something to eat with my beautiful wife. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Renee, Hilton J. Palm, Dennis, Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitale, Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters Drew the Geek. Music Doug Aldrich. Intro Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA The Planet. Thank you to Teresa Yanaros, Divine Frequency on the Airwaves. Thank you to everybody that called in and tweeted tonight. I've seen more weed billboards than I have vision for. It's pretty cool. This podcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I'll see everybody on Monday. Go back, Lee Tappy.